Flight 185 from San Francisco is now arriving in Honolulu at Gate 8.
Aloha! Life at Chaminade begins with the traditional lei of flowers. It means aloha and welcome to our islands. And particularly for these three young arrivals, the lei of flowers means success to them in their academic pursuits at Chaminade College of Honolulu. For the next few minutes, we will be following Patrick, Marjorie, and Mark as they step down the ramp and into a new and rewarding academic adventure in the new and exciting state. A few more handshakes as they are met by Brother Henry, a representative of the college. And we'll be off with them through Honolulu and Waikiki to the slopes of St. Louis Heights and Chaminade College. Chaminade College is in the heart of all the cosmopolitan richness that is Hawaii. From the old culture of a more traditional Honolulu to the swank modernity of Waikiki, the panorama is truly international. East meets west with no greater harmony than here in Hawaii. And it is against this unique cultural background that Pat, Marjorie, and Mark will study and learn. There's no doubt that such an environment will foster that intellectual curiosity that is most essential. Although relatively a very young institution, Chaminade has made great strides. As a private four-year liberal arts college, Chaminade has won recognition as the first to gain accreditation in the 50th state. In a decade, the college has improved its standards, steadily increased its enrollment, and extended its name not only to the local community, but throughout the Pacific area and the United States mainland. 10 years isn't much in terms of history, but the success of the decade of progress cannot be denied. It is duly recognized that Chaminade continually meets the challenge for excellence in all areas. It won't take Pat too long to get acquainted in Halehoaloa, the new men's dormitory overlooking famed Diamond Head in Waikiki. Here he shares 4 years with roommates and classmates from ethnic backgrounds as varied as any racial melting pot can boast. His roommates may be from New York or California, or from the neighboring islands of Maui or Kauai. Whoever they are, or wherever they may hail, they'll be guys no different from himself, eager to learn, excited about the new environment, and anxious to face the challenges of college life. Needless to say, the move into the academic world couldn't ask for a more pleasant and genial starting point. Academically, Chaminade offers the finest that any liberal arts college can offer to her students. There is a prevailing and continuous attempt to improve the synthesis of the arts and sciences. There is, here at Chaminade, a constant attempt to nurture an intellectual curiosity that will extend beyond graduation. And this is done through seminars and lectures, through discussions, formal and informal, through laboratory sessions and scientific field trips. And all of this is done through the guidance of a faculty that is capable and ever close to its students. Be it in a seminar in the humanities, where the timeless philosophies of the great traditions of learning are explained, discussed, and contemporized, or in the laboratories of science, where fundamental and current data are introduced to future doctors and researchers, or in the art studios, where the aesthetic visions of the great masters provide inspiration for the workshops in arts and crafts. The Chaminade student can always rely on the guidance of a dedicated staff, a faculty representative of colleges and universities throughout the world. Both student and teacher share in a freedom of intellectual inquiry in a close and personal environment. the smallness of Chaminade College is, in reality, one of its greatest advantages. Although primarily a Catholic college, the doors of Chaminade are open to students of all faiths. Students who are not of the Catholic faith are not required to attend religious services or to enroll in theology courses. With the foundation of a definite theology, the Chaminade student is given a curriculum that considers the profundities of Plato and Aristotle through the speculations of Augustine and Thomas to the prevailing tenets of this century. And in the tradition of all Catholic education, student life at Chaminade is not confined to theory and dogma alone. The whole man is considered. The spiritual formation of his mind and soul is expressed through the many opportunities to meditate, to ponder in solitude the mysteries and truths discovered in the classrooms and laboratories. And in the spirit of Father Chaminade, the founder of the Marianist Society, the Chaminade student learns to realize fully and to appreciate his faith, to strengthen his faith, to come to acknowledge the first and ultimate course of all his learning. Lest too much emphasis be placed on academics, be assured that Pat, Marjorie, and Mark will have their share of recreation. The island of Oahu stands ever ready with a panorama that doesn't belie those travel brochures. Those hula girls really sway. And that blue Pacific couldn't be more majestic. And around here, even the porpoises do their version of an aquatic hula. And what can surpass an Hawaiian sunset to usher in a night on the town? This is what you might call sociable extracurricular activities. And Honolulu provides enough activity to give that needed diversion from the grind of the books. And if the budget is right, Pat and Mark might even live it up at one of the many fine restaurants in Honolulu. All for $2.95 at that. And the evening can be topped off with a movie, a play, or perhaps a concert by the sea. Anything from kabuki to hootenanny. Such are the cultural advantages of Hawaii. The opportunities are boundless, and every day can be a full and interesting day for Pat. But it's those full days that make that sack worth $1 million. That's it. Tomorrow's another day. Another day begins for Pat, and he will slowly learn that his routine is no different from the schedules of any other collegian enrolled in colleges throughout the country. And most important of all, he begins to learn that a really valid liberal education is not simply a curriculum of history, mathematics, biology, languages, chemistry, philosophy, and religion. It is all this and more. For the Chaminade approach emphasizes free inquiry, that is, an education that frees the mind and opens all avenues to satisfy a spirit that is intellectually curious. Among other things, the Chaminade student will learn that in the quest for truth, the insight of science is not different from that of the arts. He will learn that the inquiring mind, the desire to be intellectually creative, the respect not for art or science, but art and science, will gain him recognition not only academically, but in the world. It is toward these goals that the educators of Chaminade dedicate themselves. Weaving the great faults of the world, Chaminade presents a tapestry that reflects the philosophical and spiritual aspirations of Father Chaminade. Students like Pat will learn to evaluate their own conclusions, fully realizing that this is but an initial nurturing of an intellectual curiosity that will eventually lead to even greater conclusions about himself and of man in the world. what about athletics? No, Chaminade may not be up there with the Big Ten, but there is nonetheless a definite spirit of fun and high sportsmanship. The student body here at Chaminade realizes that as an institution of its present size, organized athletics with other institutions must be met informally. This, however, hasn't dampened that reliable intramural spirit. Traditions are already in the making. Once a year, there's a homecoming, and we're witnessing one of these gala events. Despite the fact that graduates of Chaminade are still not legion, homecoming activities and our own version of flag football without shoes are indeed a memorable occasion. The scale of the event is far from grand, but invaluable are the lessons of sportsmanship and wholesome fun. Win or lose, it's all in the game. It's the lessons of teamwork, physical discipline, congeniality, and fair play that really count. And young men like Pat will soon learn that you just can't win them all. But here in Hawaii, there's nothing like the blue Pacific to heal all wounds. Whether you win or lose, you can always count on the Hawaiian sun to be on your side. A carload of friends, a couple of ukuleles and surfboards, and Waikiki, here we come. That surf is always ready for that board. And nothing is more invigorating than that first plunge. For you seasoned surfers, there may not be any pipelines, but there'll be surf enough to hot dog and hang 10 if you care to try. No wipeouts for our man on the board today. After a jam session to the rhythms of a ukulele, plucking out anything from Sweet Adeline to My Little Brown Gal. And the graceful movements of a beautiful hula. Pat's found his solution to his gridiron problem. And of course, no homecoming is complete without a homecoming dance. And we provide that too. That's life at Chaminade, a heavy dose of spirituality and academics in the most disciplined intellectual tradition, mixed in with a lot of sun, sand, and surf, all in an international setting. Who could possibly ask for anything more? The Marianist coat of arms displays a scroll over a cross above the silvery figure of Our Lady of the Pillar. The scroll bears the watchword, Fortis in Fide, strong in faith. This is the spirit that inspired Father Chaminade at Our Lady's Shrine in Saragossa. This is the same spirit that has inspired and continues to guide the achievements of Chaminade College. Strong in faith. Its administrators seek to maintain standards of excellence. Strong in faith. The dedication of its faculty remains unquestioned. Many more Patricks, Marjories, and Marks will walk its sunlit corridors. Many more will face the challenges of her classrooms and laboratories. The seeds of a decade of labor have been planted. The fruit of the toil are in bloom. Life at Chaminade is just beginning.